Hi guys, welcome back to a new show I'm going to call the Premier League Transfer Rumour Show. So I'm going to pick 5 rumours of transfers that have been rumoured to come to the Premier League during this summer. Now, they may not all happen, but be interested to see what's out there and what potentially could happen and how they look like in the Premier League. So say if someone came from La Liga, the Premier League, how would they score? So how I'm going to do this, I'm going to be using So Rare data to show us their stats and how they've scored over the last few years and have a estimated guess or a prediction from my opinion. And just remember, whatever I say in this video is not financial advice, it's just my personal opinion. So first up, the obvious one that's been spoken about a hell of a lot lately is Declan Rice to Arsenal. Well, would this be a good move? Let's have a look. So we just jump over to So Rare data, and as you can see, here are his scores of all time since So Rare data has existed, I guess. There you go. So the greens, dark greens mean the darker the green, the higher the score. So in West Ham currently, he's consistently hitting blues, the lighter blues, the greens, and barely ever hits dark, the lesser. Look at that, over the, how many games is that? 141 games. Pretty consistent. He's hit 58.7 average, which is pretty good. So Declan Rice, I think over the last, as you can see, he scored a few as well. But predominantly he gets a double-double, so that means he gets into his tackles, gets his passing and interceptions. And the way he plays for West Ham currently, he's a box-to-box. And as an Arsenal fan, I know what we need. We need an 8 and a box-to-box, so he could play either role. He has been playing holding mid, and since Paqueta's come there, he's pushed on. See this one here, he's got a triple. And he's had 4 tackles, 1 block, and 3 interceptions, which is just huge in a team that needs it. And I know Arsenal need a midfielder with Xhaka rumoured to go now and Partey aging. A 24-year-old Declan Rice. I personally haven't been a fan, but I can see how he would improve the team. So let's jump over to SofaScore and kind of have a look at his heat map for the season. And look at that, he's just consistent. He's got greens of a rating, which is great. And what's that? That's the Europa Conference. Let's get out of that. Let's go to Premier League. Wow, it's dark. So he started 34 out of 35 games. It's pretty integral to this team. And what they're saying is strength of positioning, ball control, and long balls, which is exactly what we need at Arsenal. Just a strong midfielder. Like he's literally everywhere, taking corners there. He's literally a box to box. So we jump back here. Now, his price is £42 for the limited or £480 for the rare. I don't know if it's represented the Arsenal transfer at all. I think he's always been there you go. Since when he started, a bit of an anomaly. He's always been that price, and I don't think it's increased. Now, do I think he'd suit Arsenal and score better? Potentially. I think he could be like Rodri. So we're going to Rodri quickly. So we're going to the Man City. And like Rodri is 26, so he's just 2 years older. He's like pivotal for Man City. And he averages, he's like £51. Wow. And look at those scores. I really think I can see Declan Rice hitting these scores. Which means for your fantasy team, he'd score, I think FBL might not score so well because you need decisives there, like goals and assists. But for So Rare point of view, he'd score very well. And he's cheaper than Rodri. And Rodri's a risk of being rotated. So, yeah, I think Declan Rice is a good transfer to Arsenal. Would I go in and get him now? Yes, before the transfer happens, because I assume his price shoots up initially. And second up, we have the one that's been linked quite a few times. It's Rabiot to Man United. So Rabiot to Man United. So let's have a look at his scores. okay, recently not been doing so well. I'm gonna pay pretty much picking up cards, fouls and stuff. But I remember during the World Cup, he scored very well. Where's the World Cup? It's down here. Look at this for France. There's a one game hit 99 score, and he can hit some decent scores. I believe he's like a box to box. We'll have a look at the heat map in a second. But he's got 4 tackles there, 1 interception. Now, how would he fit in the menu? Would he be alongside Casemiro? That'd be too defensive. Maybe instead, a rotational sub with Casemiro, which, look at them scores. It's pretty nice again. It'd be pretty nice to have him alongside Casemiro, or, have an option, I guess. His price is currently £23, and his rare hasn't sold in a while. So that's not a bad price for Rabiot. He's 28. Of course, they have an issue. Obviously, his mum's his agent. She wants as much money as she can. So we'll just jump over to Sofa's score and have a look at his scores. So they say his strengths are long balls, tackling and position, kind of like little Declan Rice there. Again, his heat maps, very central, box to box esque. Obviously, you're not going to stay in the middle, but it's pretty nice to see. He scored 8 goals, so he's got a goal threat, which is great. Pretty all around, no defensive issues. Yeah, would he improve menu? Again, if one I've been confused about, I didn't really like when others, Manu were linked in the summer. I did wonder why they went for Rabiot, but he's actually not bad. And a couple of years ago, he was linked with Arsenal and some big moves. When he was at PSG, I think it is. Yeah. So yeah, I just think he gets a run of games, and if he hits these scores every other game, it'd be nice. But like I said, he's dropped a hell of a lot, and maybe indicative to how Juventus are playing, really. His game might be just, is it possession? No, it's not possession based. It's tackle. So I feel like his game is okay. He's hit a 51 in a game they lost. That's fair. He's very good when he needs a tackle. So in a difficult game, break up play, 4 tackles. It's pretty good. He had a big chance, missed this. He -5 points. Again, would Rabiot improve a Manu? I think it's worth a punt. A £23. Would it happen? I'm not sure. Not sure at all. But £23, that seems really cheap for him. I know it's the end of the season, but he's got £59. And okay, we'll go back in. This is like 2 years ago now, I think. 86. Price has changed a lot since then, but yeah. Rabiot to Man United. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Next up, we have Guendouzi to Aston Villa. Now, Guendouzi, when he was with Arsenal, he was under Unai Emery. And very much trusted him all the time. I think he played most games. I don't know if we can see the Arsenal. Let's have a look. Okay, this is not going to show much. That's sad. I think he would have scored well. Well, with Emery, he played every game. Yeah, he's a bit feisty. And if you ignore this season, you can see he was scoring very well when he moved there. Some dark scores. Okay, he got some DMPs and some yellow scores. I think it's a rotation. They have a lot of midfielders, Marseille. I think Guendouzi currently has lost in the pecking order. He's just dropped off. I'm not entirely sure why, but this kind of he was linked to leave in the January transfer window, but he didn't. It just makes me feel like he's gonna leave in the summer now, because they've got Veretout, they've got who's my guy? I forgot. Rongier. They've got Payet, who'll probably leave. They've got so many midfielder options. So I think he leaves. I don't know where he goes. He's 24 as well. He's very young. I think he's sorted his hot head a bit because with Arsenal he was worse than Xhaka. He was so aggressive. And if look at these, I say like for a cam, look at that for a cam. Just a lot of possession based stuff. So he had one tackle, final third passes, 4 interceptions. So he pressed up real high. He's Lorient as well. 77.70 and 42 AA is amazing. You're really, really good. And in a team that plays consistent, just like Aston Villa, if he starts there, I can see his scores shoot up back to a consistent 60 at least. I don't see him being low because he's a meaty player. And with the way Emery plays, with Ollie Watkins ahead, he'd press up high and get a hell of a lot more assists, definitely. A price of £11. I might pick that myself. Wow. And 68 for the rare. Let's check him out on SofaScore. So we'll go to the strengths, long balls and playmaking, which is perfect. Ball over top to Ollie Watkins. And they always say no weaknesses. Surely someone has a weakness. We'll find one. See, he's not as dark as Rabiot was, and Declan Rice just seems less central and just higher up, I guess. I guess he hasn't played. Look, he started in 23 at 31, so that might show why it's not as dark. But so yeah, would he improve Aston Villa? Hell yes. They've only got they got McGinn and they've got Douglas Luiz, who came from City, I believe. Guendouzi, another. I'd say, if you got the budget, pick these up because I'm sure the price will increase. Next up is another one I spoke about a lot, and it looks like it's going to happen. So much talk of Alexis McAllister going to Liverpool, and it's just something they've needed for such a long time. Right, so McAllister, it kind of shocked me. I don't know if it shocked anyone else, but when the World Cup came along, I was not expecting. He was called up. I was a bit shocked, really. Why was McAllister called up? But he did so well. Just consistent scoring of greens and darker greens there in his World Cup campaign. I think it's first time, potentially, first call up, yeah. And he did pretty well. But just look at these scores. If any of you've seen it, I'll show you. It does pretty well. Since coming back from, they won't show it, but he was at River Plate. No, Boca Juniors he was at, and then before that, Argentinos. But he's not as consistent. Down here he was, just before the World Cup. Wow. He had such a nice spell here. Goals. Was it a penalty? Doesn't say. Some good AA, so 25 is good for an AA, and then if you have decisive, you just get these dark greens. You just like players to hit 80s, 70s, 80s, just help you win some rewards. Look at this. He's got 73, a goal, and is that an error leading to goal? Yeah, and he still hit 73. That's pretty good. He seems a box to box. He's CDM there, he's a CM there, he's a cam there. Yeah. He's hit some yellows, but this might be how Brighton have been a bit floppy this year. Look, you can see exactly. They lost. They beat Arsenal. They lost. They got 100 against Man U. Sheesh. He won 2 tackles. I never knew this. No interceptions. Wow, okay. A lot from attempted assists. He's got double-double. So, I think everyone knows he's going to be an absolute baller at Liverpool. Very much like Enzo was at Benfica, Enzo Fernandez, who's gone to Chelsea. Like, he's £44 as well. And his rare is mega cheap. Obviously, he's a lot cheap, but the limited rare tend to be 10 times. And if you've seen the previous ones, they've been 10 times or a little bit more. For it to be 229, this is wrong. That's just 5 times the amount. That's crazy. They must stand at 206. I mean, literally, if he moves to Liverpool, he'd probably be on set pieces because Milner's leaving. Obviously, Milner wasn't taking set pieces, but obviously Trent does that. But have a look at Liverpool as a whole. The midfield isn't that great. Okay, Jordan Henderson's 32. He'd be Fabinho, 29. Probably stay. Curtis, 22. That's a good foundation there. But the rest of them, let's have a look at these midfielders. You've got Elliott, again, another youngster. He's not been doing great. Keita, I don't know what's happened to him. I think he's leaving. Mello's leaving. Cavallo, I'm not sure. Chamberlain's leaving. Milner's leaving. Thiago, don't know. And him. So they really need to build their midfield out. So getting McAllister, yeah, that's a definite. If you wanted to, it's not even a punt. If you just wanted a midfielder that can help you score well, get Alexis McAllister. And last but not least is Dahood, who's going to replace Alexis McAllister. So Mahmoud Dahood, what a name. Let's see how he's been doing. Now, I genuinely have no idea. This does not look great. Huh. Very interesting that they linked with him. They must see something. When he was playing up and down again, it's just no consistency here. But as you know with Brighton, they do a lot of stat checking, facts. They run statistics and stuff, and he must be doing something right. But look, when he was playing, they were very dominant. 5-1. Scoring goals when he was in the team. Who's replaced him? Just DMP, not even on the bench. Who's here now? Bellingham. Who's going to go? Ozcan. Right, okay. That's a shame for him. But yeah, this one looks done. You've seen they're saying, I think even De Zerbi came out and said he's a good player and kind of hinted about him coming over. He hasn't really played much. He's looked okay. At times he got dark scores, but really high dark scores as well. But it's tough to say. Would I punt him? Like, he's £6. £6 for a Brighton midfielder. Possibly start if Caicedo and McAllister goes. Yes, please. That could go 3-4 times. But it's just the reason I do that is just having an idea of how good he's played. Because even with a sub, he came for 30 minutes, and what did he do? Fouled someone. He got 1 tackle. I don't know, a bunch of possession. Let's just check him. I forgot about McAllister. We'll just check him on your sofa score. Let's go to a season where maybe he was playing. There you go. Nice and dark. Any strengths? Maybe go back to season to tell us. Strengths? Has he got no strengths? No. He's got no strengths. There you go. Oh, he's a free agent. Bloody hell. There you go. That's it. They're going to give him free. Our strengths are there. Blind. High pressing and playmaking, which is perfect for Brighton. Weakness is discipline, which should probably be sorted easy. If De Zerbi's there next year, easy. Free. What a purchase that is, or what a transfer even. Yeah, all 5 of these have been actually pretty good because the teams they're going into, they will improve, and Dahood will improve Brighton. That's the end of the show. That's the Premier League Transfer Rumours show. That's the 5 rumoured players that are rumoured to transfer to any Premier League team. All 5, I believe, will improve them. Remember, anything I have said here is not financial advice. It's just my opinion, where it may be completely wrong. Just maybe a quick idea of how they've played, would they improve kind of video. I think they will. Yeah, and thank you very much for watching. My name is Bithorse, and see you in the next one. Ciao.